Okay, it is 11:01, and welcome to the webinar, Save to Win, Playing, Saving, and Winning. Just checking to make sure everybody can hear me. So I'm going to wait for a chairperson to say if my line is still soft. Hopefully you can hear me now. Perfect. And everybody should be able to see the webinar as well. The moderators for this webinar are myself, Ross Yednock with CEDAM. We're the Community Economic Development Association of Michigan. Joanna Smith-Ramani with Doorways to Dreams Fund, and then Wafa who is also with CEDAM. The overview of this webinar will be provided, or the overview of Save to Win will be provided by Joanna, as well as followed up with connecting Save to Win efforts with asset building in Michigan. And then I will talk about the Save to Win Challenge, which is a chance for your organization to win some money. A couple house cleaning things before we get going. Everybody on the call will be placed on mute initially. At the end, we will unmute folks and have a chance to answer some questions. However, if you have to take another call, because this is during the working hours, please don't put us on hold. Sign off and sign back on so we don't have hold music playing. Also, any time during the presentation, if you notice in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, there's a little chat box. And if you have any questions about statistics or anything we're talking about, shoot a line in there. We've got Sarka, who is kind enough to monitor that for us during the presentation, and will alert us to those questions. So without further ado, we have about 30 people signed up. We've got about 20 people on, so we will begin. I have to say I'm really excited about the Save to Win and its potential. Yep, there it is. It's Save to Win as a asset building tool that you and your organization can easily leverage to help your clients build assets. And to talk about what Save to Win is and how it works, we are turning it over to Joanna. Joanna?
Thanks so much, Ross. I appreciate it. And thanks, everyone, for taking all this time out of your day to, not just learn about Save to Win. Many of you may have heard of it because Michigan is a huge innovator in prize-linked savings and the only state right now to have a big statewide initiative like this. So I'm hopeful that as asset building folks, you have heard about it. But, more importantly, this next stage for Save to Win is how can you guys have a role in it? How can you make sure this product reaches your consumers and the folks you care about the most? And how can you take infrastructure that already exists and, work it into your own sets of practices and programs? So that's, really the meat of this. But before we do that, I'm just going to walk through some quick, what is Save to Win, what's the product, and what do we know about its success? As Ross mentioned, please feel free to put any questions you have into the chat box, and I'll try to answer them along the way, or we'll certainly get to them at the end. But, Doorways to Dreams Fund, one of our biggest question is, can saving be fun? So we know saving is something we have to do. We know we feel bad when we don't. We know most Americans are not doing it. So the question is, how can we change all that so that not only is it fun, but more people do it? So I have a quick poll. This will be the first chance that you can test out your chat feature. But what is more exciting to you? The lottery ticket on the left-hand side, Max a Millions, top prizes of $1 million, or your deposit slip for your savings account? Feel free to use your chat feature so you can test it out. Thank you, Tamika. Lottery ticket. I have to agree with that. What, Shirley? You said deposit slip. I don't even believe you, but thank you for your response. This is great. We're getting a ton of lottery ticket responses. What most people say, it's not that we think it's the better of the decision. It's just that it is, in fact, more exciting. Someone also posted a question about if this will all be posted afterwards. It will. It's being recorded, as you heard in the beginning, and so you will be able to both listen to it and view it again. So yes, lottery tickets are more exciting. Again, not necessarily the better choice. This isn't a value judgment. It's just what gets you kind of enthusiastic and motivates you to do something. We also know, based on some data, that some studies that have been done, that 38% of folks with incomes below $25,000 think that lottery represents the most practical and reasonable way for them to accumulate several $100,000. So again, no judgment on those folks. In fact, that might actually be reasonably true. Given their incomes, the interest rates that sit on low deposit savings accounts, and their access to good products, in fact, it is very hard for low-income Americans and low-income workers to accumulate enough money so they have financial security, even if they're motivated to do that. You guys know that in your work. So that fact shouldn't be startling, but it's important as we think about how can we make this product, Save to Win, change people's mind about that. So the concept of prize-linked savings, excuse me, everyone, for coughing, a little bit of a cold I'm getting over, is really an idea where we're taking this concept of what's exciting and what motivates people, that lottery ticket versus deposit slip idea, and how do we change that instead of being a lose situation into a win situation for someone where they're always winning even if they didn't win the prize. So it's essentially a product that that's designed so that as you save more, you get more chances to win. So that you put in, in the Save to Win account in Michigan, you're putting in $25 at a time. For every $25, you have one more chance to win a $100,000 grand prize at the end. And so that's what incents you to keep saving. These accounts actually also earn a modest amount of interest because interest rates in this country right now are kind of terrible. So you're earning interest anyways, you're saving. But if you don't win the grand prize, you don't actually lose your savings. So it's, a no-lose lottery, in a sense, a no-lose promotion to get folks to save by the excitement of the possibility of winning. When we think about kind of what's the marketplace for this and what are people already spending their money on, again, if you go back to that percentage where 38% of folks think that winning the lottery is probably their biggest chance to actually have any financial security, in 2008, $60 billion were spent in U.S. lottery sales. Billions, people. That's an enormous amount of money being diverted into the lottery where very few people win. That's an average of $515 per household. Now, I know in my household, we really don't play the lottery. We occasionally, buy a scratch-off ticket to put in people's stockings at Christmas time, but we're certainly not spending $515 per month. So what we know that means is that there are households that are spending much more than that, in fact, because there are households that are spending much less than that. And 80% of the $60 billion is coming from moderate and low-income households. So that's, that's pretty startling information. Ooh, sorry, try and move the slide ahead. Excuse me. So what we tried to do was take this concept that's been successful in other parts of the world. I have to say that for decades, this idea of a savings promotion raffle where you have a savings structure that motivates people to continue to save with a promotion, that has some bigger chance to win, has been tested all over Europe successfully. It's been used in South Africa, Saudi Arabia, lots of other countries. The most notable is that in the UK, they have a program like this that's based in their savings bond program called a premium bond, where you purchase a premium bond and you have a chance to win more. So again, we looked around, the world and essentially says, there's this thing happening that seems pretty promising. How do we bring it to the U.S. and what kind of infrastructure do we have to take advantage of it? And so, we first looked to the world of credit unions for a bunch of different reasons. A lot of them are legal and regulatory, but some are also mission-focused. Credit unions tend to be financial institutions that have a mission around thrift, that more than other financial institutions focus on low-income consumers, and at Doorways to Dreams Fund, we're most concerned about the financially vulnerable, and seem to be the ones really interested in this kind of innovation for the long run. So they're not going to run a promotion for 2 months to get a bunch of deposits and a bunch of new customers in and then sort of walk away. But, mission-based organizations that really care about the long-term savings behavior of their membership. And in 2009, we were able to launch Save to Win in Michigan, the first large-scale demonstration in the United States. We had 8 credit unions participate the first year. We're now up to, I believe, over 36 credit unions in the third year, and that number is continuing to grow. There's a $100,000 grand prize at the end of the year for the winner. And there's, over $3,000 in smaller prizes each month, again, as a way to keep folks interested and enthusiastic and motivated to save. If you deposit money in March or you deposit money in April, not only can you win the $100,000 at the end, but you can also win $25, $500, $1,000 in that given month that you saved. I have a question from Brittany about if the product is for only new members or can current credit union users benefit as well. The first year, in fact, in 2009, they primarily targeted existing membership, so there wasn't a big external campaign. In year 2 and 3, it was still open to everyone as long as you were eligible to be a member of that credit union. In years 2 and 3, they've been doing, and we're in year 3 now, they've been doing actually quite a large external campaign to make sure that, folks outside of existing membership in the credit union know about the product and have a chance to save in it. And that's really where we hope we can partner with groups such as yours because, again, Doorways to Dreams concern the Michigan Credit Union League, and a lot of these credit unions are saying this is a great, great opportunity for low to moderate income small savers who don't have access to good accounts for small savers and, again, aren't motivated by the small amount they can save every month, but a prize can motivate them. And so we're really trying to get deeper into the community to get those folks into the product. For every $25 deposited into the account, it was a 1-year certificate of deposit, a CD, you had 1 chance to win. So if you deposit $50 that month, you have 2 chances to win. $100 that month, 4 chances to win. There was a maximum per month of 10 chances, and that was partly so that we could balance folks who were able to save a lot each month with folks who could only save a little each month, and everyone in the end could have close to the same amount of chances to win. Someone asked a question if you needed to have a checking account. No. One of the great things about this is like a savings account. So it's a certificate of deposit. You don't need a checking account. You can go into the credit union and deposit right into the account, or you can direct deposit into the account from other accounts. And there aren't any income limits. This product was not designed, just for quote-unquote poor people or rich people. In fact, in the design of it, the reason that it only has a $25 minimum opening, I don't know, you guys could answer this through the chat feature, but most certificates of deposit, most CDs, have a much higher entry point than $25. That's one of the reasons that so many people are kept out of them. They have $500 entry points, $1,000 entry points. But what this was is called a balance building certificate. So you open it with $25, but you can continue to deposit into it throughout the year. It's a product that a handful of credit unions around the country use without the prize part. But in Michigan, most of these credit unions actually had to add it on to their suite of products, really then adding on a product that was great for small savers and financially vulnerable consumers that they never had before. So it's super exciting, and you'll see all the original 8 credit unions listed down at the bottom of this slide. And later on in the presentation, we actually have a list of all the current credit unions. But you can also go to savetowin.org, and it lists them all by county. So you could search by where you live or where you guys serve clients. We did a ton of research the first year, and we continue to do research on it. Try to look at a couple of critical questions to help us know if it's working. One was, do people want it? Does fun actually work? So, like I said, around the world, fun works, and people want this product. Based on data around lottery use and what excites people and motivates people in this country, we certainly believed people would want it, but our belief and the international experience isn't sufficient. We wanted to test and know that there was actual demand for this product and that it was worth continuing to expand and use. Does it make a difference? Do we actually get new savers and new savings? And again, from a D2D perspective, and I know this is what's important to you guys as well, do we get financially vulnerable consumers? Are the small savers and folks who have little or no savings finding this product appealing and motivating as a way to save. And then finally, I don't know if we have any credit union folks on the call or any other business operators on the call, but a core question is it actually good business? Because we want this to be sustainable. We certainly don't want, credit unions to sort of get into it, or even other kinds of delivery systems for prize-linked savings that we're working with, to get into it and decide this isn't a sustainable business model for them, and then they pull out that their members, need this product to continue to save. So some of the results from the first year, excuse me, again, I remind you this is back from 2009. We're currently analyzing 2010 data, so we'll have a little bit to share on this call and definitely more to share in the coming months. But again, in 1 year, 8 credit unions, 11,600 accounts opened, and people saved $8.6 million. Just have a pause and let you think about those numbers. And also think about, for those of you that are IDA providers or VITA sites, and try to help folks put their refunds into savings, how big this volume is. How hard that is to do with nonprofit programs, and what kind of scale working with an infrastructure like the credit unions has been able to offer savings for low-income individuals. The average account has $734 in it. Again, I think that's remarkable. People who had zero at the beginning of the year are now at $734 at the end of the year, and that's meaningful money. I know in Maryland last year, thank goodness last year, we had huge snowstorms that put people out of work for 1 or 2 weeks. Many of our clients weren't earning those weeks. They're not salaried. They don't get paid when they can't show up for work, and so they find themselves in financial crisis. $734 is the kind of money that can actually get you through. So, significant amounts of savings. If you look down, we did a survey, and about half of the savers responded to the survey, and 67% of savers earned less than $60,000. 44% earned less than $40,000. So a good percentage of folks in the product are exactly who we wanted to be there. Again, new savers, small savers, financially vulnerable consumers who otherwise would not have saved without this product. And about, just under 30% had less than $2,000 in financial assets outside of this account. So this was really, again, meaningful savings to add to their financial security. We did do some more, and please feel free to continue to ask questions if you have about the data, because I'm very much rushing through it so we can get to the meat of the what's next for Save to Win, but I'm very happy to answer questions. We, again, did some deeper digging on kind of the impact on the financially vulnerable, because that's important for all of us to learn about. And you can sort of see in this grid, you have 56% of savers were non-savers, people who had not saved or saved regularly before. 39% were asset poor, which I have to go back to the report, but I think we defined as people who have less than $4,000 or $5,000 in other assets, not including their home, if they own their home. And 44% were low to moderate individuals. Low to moderate income individuals, excuse me. So a good percentage of folks, again, are folks struggling every day to make ends meet, and savings really matters for them. Their average accounts, this is what was kind of interesting to me. If you look at the non-savers and the low to moderate income savers, their average accounts weren't that far away from the overall average account. So they're keeping track, they're keeping up with the other savers that don't have the same income constraints as they do. So again, a really well-designed product is what this slide says to me. So I have a couple questions I want to answer. How do these savings affect individual food benefits or other government benefits? That's a really, really great question. I think maybe Ross will want to handle this further down when he's back on, because asset limits are very state-specific, and I don't know Michigan's asset limits very well. There is a question of liquid versus non-liquid asset limits and how quickly and rapidly you spend them down before they count. So certainly this is savings, and it's savings in a person's name. So to whatever extent your state looks at asset limits and whatever number, is their limit, this should probably count for it. But Ross, I'll just put that in the parking lot for you to handle, if that's okay.
Perfect. Yes.
And where did the revenue come from to fund the prizes? Another really great question. Thanks, Dave. In the first year in 2009, all the credit unions pooled their funds together. This is a cooperative model where the credit unions together are pooling their funds. The Michigan Credit Union League is providing oversight, operation assistance, and some funds. This is, again, year one, so that they could come up with a prize package that big. Individually, none of them could give out a $100,000 grand prize, but together they could. In the subsequent years, and this is specific to Michigan, the Michigan Credit Union League, to really expand the number of credit unions participating and make sure that they're getting out to all parts of the state and that, you know, credit unions, regardless of size, can offer this product. They've been very generous and have been actually funding the majority of the prize pool themselves. So the Credit Union League, and I know we have Stacy Dugan on the line, who you know, at some point will be able to talk as well, has been funding the prize pool. That's the $100,000 grand prize and some of the monthly prizes. Credit unions themselves have also been funding additional monthly prizes as well as all the marketing efforts. And from what I understand from the credit unions, you know, most of this money comes from their marketing budget, from their product development budget, from a variety of different places. Okay. In terms of like what we can tell you about this last year that we just finished in December, excuse me, we increased the number of credit unions offering Save to Win, and I hope you guys felt that because maybe you saw more advertisements or saw it, in fact, in your own credit union. From 8 credit unions to 36 participating credit unions, and that number continues to grow. Again, Stacy's on the line, and at some point she might be able to give us an update if that number is even higher now. The number of accounts increased. The total dollars saved at the end of the year last in 2010 was $28 million, and the average balance went up, although we believe that's really because of one particular credit union that had very high average balances, and so we're still cleaning up the data to make it, you know, a much more accurate story of what happened, as well as trying to capture a little bit more of the detail the way we were from 2009. And in 2011, we continue to work with the new credit unions on board and all the other participating credit unions to evaluate, you know, the impact in this current year, as well as one of the things we're really trying to learn is how many people saved in 2009 and then saved again in 2010 and now continue to save in 2011. So how does this product really change savings behavior or encourage people to save, you know, over long periods of time? I think the exciting news from 2010, though, is that, you know, over, in terms of the winners, because that's what gets people really excited, we had over 1,700 people win more than $233,000 in prizes. So that's a lot of motivation. And if you think about what that makes the, like, effective interest rate on these accounts for those winners is quite high. But, you know, there's 16,800 people saving, 1,700 technically winning prizes. But I would say that all 16,800 folks saving won, because one, they still have their money at the end of the year. Many of them are low-income savers and wouldn't have saved otherwise, so it's money they would not have had at the end of the year if not for this account. And they're further along in their, you know, financial security goals than they were before. So I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I don't know if Ross is actually, sorry, Ross dropped off, and I don't know if he's promoted yet. He's being promoted. Does anyone have any? Oh, you can talk? Okay, I can move it for you. There you go. Yep, go for it, Ross.
All righty. So I'm going to work blind off of the sheets I have. Thank you very much, Joanna, for that. So as you can see, Save to Win has helped thousands of people in Michigan save more than $28 million last year alone. And I'm really excited about this project. There was a question earlier about can this be used with an IDA, and I'll get into that in a few slides here, but I think it's an excellent alternative and a lower cost alternative for both the service provider and potentially the account holder for the IDA. So the next few slides will give you some examples of how you and your organization can leverage Save to Win, and this real partnership that we have with Doorways to Dreams Fund, the Michigan Credit Union League, and again, Stacy Dugan is on, and we thank the Credit Union League for all their support on this. And I'm now going to turn it over to Wafa, and Wafa is working out of the southeastern Michigan area, connecting Save to Win with community organizations like yours. Wafa?
Thanks, Ross.
First of all, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we've been doing. We've been doing, I can't get the slide to switch. I'm sorry, give me just a second. Okay. We've been working a lot with VITA sites, which are free tax preparation sites in Southeast Michigan as well as throughout the state. And one of the things that we've been doing is connecting the VITA sites with Save to Win. The people who go into VITA sites are traditionally lower income people who are coming in to get the free tax service. What we've done with some of the credit unions like Financial Edge, Communicating Arts, and ALGA is partner them with the VITA sites, with the free tax preparation sites, so that they can sign up the individuals who are getting their taxes prepared for Save to Win accounts. They're working on programs where they can use a portion of their tax returns to get deposited directly into Save to Win. It's a win-win situation. These people are becoming members of the credit unions while beginning to save and beginning to become more financially stable. I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of a little trouble with the slides. Why don't you tell me when you want to forward them, Wafa, and I'll do it. This is Joanna.
Okay. Next slide.
Okay.
Thank you, Joanna.
Sure.
So basically, what we're currently doing with Save to Win is trying to reach out to the unbanked and the underbanked. We're developing partnerships between local organizations to do things like financial counseling and try and assist and provide services to lower-income individuals. Public Services Credit Union is signing up low-income and high-risk clients for Save to Win. What they're doing is allowing people to open up savings accounts, bank accounts, who otherwise wouldn't be allowed to open up bank accounts. We're working with the different credit unions and the local organizations. We're able to develop programs to fit the organizations and to work with the credit union. Next slide, please.
And Wafa, I will talk a little bit about this. What I love about Save to Win and the asset building field is it's really all about innovation. And if you think about IDAs back when they came around, decade and a half ago, it was an innovative concept and way to help low to moderate income people build wealth and savings. It's kind of like this webinar. We've got 4 presenters in 4 different areas and another 25 people on. So what I love about this is, the IDA is a great product, and it's a proven product to help people save. But that's all it is. It's just a product and a tool. We've talked with a bunch of IDA practitioners throughout the state who are interested in using this because, as we've mentioned earlier, there is no income limit or restrictions. So if you've got somebody who is ineligible for an IDA account, you can leverage Save to Win to help them save. There are also no need for organizations to raise match money. And there's no limit on savings options, so it doesn't have to just be for a house, a business, or educational purposes. This can be used to help somebody move out of a transitional house to a longer-term house over the course of a year. The IDA was designed to help encourage savings or create savings behavior, and that's exactly what the Save to Win accounts are able to do with the low entry rate and limitless possibilities. Wafa, I'm going to turn it back to you to talk about how some of this actually kind of plays in between the credit unions and organizations that are helping working families.
Yep. Just some of the ways that we're leveraging Save to Win is credit unions are providing marketing materials and sign-up packets to the different organizations and allowing them to sign up members in their facilities. And basically, all the promotional materials, all the information is provided by the credit union. We're also working with organizations to educate their clients on Save to Win, making that a regular part of like financial counseling, a regular part of the services that are offered by the organization. Nick had a question about credit unions being able to come to the site. credit unions are able to come to the site. It's going to depend on which credit union you want to work with and what their resources are like. So, Nick, I can talk to you after this call, and we can figure something out. I can connect you with the credit union. Next slide, please. And basically, the best way for nonprofit organizations or social services organizations to leverage the Safe to Win is to discuss the incentives. I mean, each credit union individually offers monthly incentives for members to open up Safe to Win accounts. Credit unions are also offering the initial funds for memberships, which are sometimes can be $6, sometimes they're $10. Communicating Arts in Detroit gives out a little coupon for the initial $10 deposit to open up the savings account along with the Safe to Win account. And the other thing we're doing to leverage Safe to Win is we have this community ambassador program. We're finding organizations and trusted individuals in the community who can become the links between the credit unions and the organizations. They're acting as liaisons, and they're providing information and services to the local organizations. What just came up right now is the list of participating credit unions. As you can see, they're all over Southeast Michigan, but there is all over Southeast Michigan as well as Michigan in general. So there is a credit union. There's a credit union that serves all of Michigan. So there is a credit union that serves your area.
Thank you, Wafa. The next slide. This is what I love about Save to Win, again, is that there are limitless possibilities. I think it is a great tool to help people save. But not enough people know about it, and not enough people are leveraging it as an asset-building tool. So in working with Doorways to Dreams, as well as the Michigan Credit Union League, CEDAM wants to work to open up, I believe, 4,000 accounts between now and Memorial Day. So we have this challenge that we're calling Race to Memorial Day. Part of it is with credit union employees who are going to be promoting both internally and externally to members and new members at credit unions to open up the accounts. And then we are kicking off a Save to Win raffle for organizations who want to use this as a way to leverage, or want to leverage Save to Win accounts as a way to help their clients and the families they serve build assets. Again, the contest runs through Memorial Day, but the Save to Win account is something that they can use in perpetuity, essentially. For your organization to be eligible to win the raffle of $500 in the next 2 months, you need to contact us, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but it would open up 25 new Save to Win accounts. And once you do that, your organization is eligible. And at the end of the period, we will have a random drawing, and for every account you open, you get an entry. So similar like the Save to Win product, where for every $25 you save, you get another chance to win $100,000. You get a chance to win $500 for your organization. So for groups who start midway through, they still have a chance to win some money to help out with the work they're doing. We also have a grand prize. $1,500 for your organization. To be eligible, you just have to open up 100 accounts within the next few months. Back to the question about IDAs, one of the hindrances of IDAs is they've been around in Michigan for 8-9 years, give or take, and we only have about 1,800 accounts open. And that's because there's a lot of cost to that. Again, Save to Win is a low-touch tool for the organization to leverage to provide the high-touch services that are similar with Save to Win. So simply, you become eligible as an organization if you open 100 accounts, and the one who wins the most wins the $1,500. In the event of the tie, it'll be split, but that is a great incentive. And lastly, this is the incentive that I am most interested in, is really learning from the people who are out there doing the service delivery, working with clients, helping individuals and families build wealth, what we've called a Save to Win Innovator Challenge. And this is simply where many of us are in the world of having to write grants. And when we were coming up with this idea, I wanted to make it as simple as possible. So, and more information will be out there for groups who want to be part of these challenges. But essentially, be a one-page, two-page narrative explaining how you marketed Save to Win or promoted it with your clients. How you worked it with other asset building and self-sufficiency programs, be they food assistance or financial education, financial capability, credit building. Want to see how this meshes with the overall asset building toolkit. And how you used it to encourage savings behaviors among clients. Again, with the IDAs, you're working on building savings towards that match. Here's a different way to go. Can you save $5 every week or $12.50 twice a month, and you get another entry to, again, get that savings behavior going. And then future plans to leverage Save to Win accounts. So these are the type of things that would be thrown together in a narrative to really see how innovative we can be in leveraging this as a great savings product. The next steps for organizations that are interested, that want to be part of the Save to Win Challenge, and contact us. Let us know today before you get off the call. If you need to run it up the ladder, let us know Monday. Let us know as soon as possible so we can start connecting you. That's the next step. There was a question from somebody talking about will credit unions come to local sites, and that's what Wafa is doing in Southeast Michigan. I'm working on that in Grand Rapids. We've got a couple other people who are working on that throughout the state. So we want to connect you with the credit unions and kind of serve as that liaison to find innovative ways that help credit unions serve your clients and make those connections. And we will do follow-up calls all next week and moving forward from there. Okay, there are a bunch of comments going in there, so I'm going to go to the next question, which is questions, comments, concerns. And Sarka, have you...
The conference has been unmuted.
Perfect.
So there's a question real fast. This is Joanna from FERT about if a saver withdraws part of their savings, can they still be in the program? The short answer is yes. So the way the product, the Save to Win product in Michigan is designed is it's a one-year CD, so typical with other CDs. Oh my goodness. So please feel free to mute your own line, even though we unmuted everyone's if there's background noise. So if so a typical CD means that you've put in your money and you're committing to keep it in for a calendar year from the date you opened it. However, with this product, for a, I believe, $25 fee, you can remove part of your money. You're still in the running to win the grand prize with whatever money is left in the account, and also you can continue to deposit. If you withdraw more than once, however, you're no longer eligible to win the grand prize, but that money is still yours. You can still, move it to a regular share savings account or, withdraw all of it if that's what you want. But that's the fee structure and the removing structure is actually very standard for a certificate of deposit.
Although building off of that, and this is, again, kind of thinking innovatively, when we've talked with folks about the IDA, and I just use that as an example, there are a lot of rules, regulations, different, barriers that you got to keep in mind. The great thing about a tool like Save to Win is you as an organization have the ability to really work within, limitless possibilities. So, that person, yes, there's some rules. You pull it out, you can no longer enter it, as Joanna mentioned, but there's a whole host of things that you can do to really help encourage savings behavior. I like to think of it, that idea, IDA is just one vowel removed from an idea, and that's moving this along the lines for Save to Win, limitless possibilities.
Yeah, and I'll also just say that Doorways to Dreams, and I'm sure many of you have been doing, some of you who are tax prep sites hopefully have been also engaging in splitting refunds into savings bonds and some of the other savings work happening. But we've been doing that for about 6 years, working with groups to, split specifically into U.S. savings bonds that have a mandatory one-year holding period. And at first, we were both worried, and we heard from other consumer groups and asset building practitioners that maybe that 1 year wasn't good, that was harmful to clients. These are, low-income taxpayers, and what if they need their money in an emergency? And there's even less flexibility with the savings bond. You truly can't get your money out for a year unless there's some kind of huge emergency and the Bureau of Public Debt at the federal government approves it. The reality was that clients knew that getting into it. When we did focus groups and surveys and stuff after, most said, that's what I liked about it. I wanted it to be gone for a year. I wanted to not think that I could access it, because when I can access it, that's when I do access it. So, it's a feature that will work really well for some folks, and that will be really motivating to get them to save. And for others, that might be a feature that discourages them, but, no one's trying to say this is the product for everyone. But this is, a good product and a suite of products that finds the right fit for certain consumers and has very good success with them. Someone asked another question about if there's an income cutoff. There's no income cutoff and no qualifier for the program, except that you have to, be a member of a participating credit union. Most of credit unions, there's so many now. You can go to savetowin.org and look up participating credit unions by county in Michigan. Most have enough, you have enough broad fields of membership and those credit unions participating that if you're in their region, you're likely to find a credit union that you are in fact allowed to be a member of. So that's, really the first eligibility question, can you get yourself into a credit union? And the second is, you need $25 to open the account. So those are the two considerations, and beyond that, there's nothing else. And I'm sorry, you have to be a resident of Michigan, but I think that's not really an issue for most of you guys and over the age of 18.
Any other questions?
I have just a comment. We're live now, right?
You are live.
Okay. Yeah, this is Bert Fenby down in Lenawee, too, and we do IDA accounts and VITA. We're actually a Tri-County Community Action Agency in financial literacy. I think it's an excellent tool. Sometimes with IDAs, that sounds too daunting to save $1,000, and so this gives them an opportunity to do the others. But they can't work with an IDA?
So I'll let Ross answer if he thinks that technically they could work together. You could certainly think about this as for people who who otherwise look like they could qualify for an IDA, but otherwise are not interested in, that $1,000, as you're saying, is discouraging, or they're not ready to commit to a particular asset purchase at the end. Mm-hmm. They want a more flexible spending, but they might be in 6 months be interested in doing that. You can certainly think about this as a way to get someone
started. That's exactly
right. Show them they can save $250, and then they might think, you know what, I can get to $1,000.
That's right, and that's the challenge with IDAs. And so I see this product as really great. It just, in an IDA, they have to save at least $20 a month. And my thought was, in our IDAs anyway, well, if they put in $25 a month, could they do both? Could it be an IDA account that's in the Win to Save?
Well, and that would be something I think we could talk about offline.
Yeah.
In the IC.
Well, I'm really anxious to hear from you. And we're in the southeast part of Michigan. I don't know if it's far enough out for her. We're in the Adrian area. Okay. But I think this is an excellent product. We have financial classes every other week where we give them information on budgeting, and boy, I want to add this as part of the tools that are out there. So great job.
Bert, you're my favorite participant on this call right now. Thank you for for speaking up and sharing it. We've actually been seeing a lot of people posting that they're interested in participating, and it's so exciting to see you guys, thinking about how you can work this in to your other work, and how it can also add value. So, and if you and Ross can, with the rest of the team, creatively come up with a way that it could in fact be the deposit account for the IDA where the money's stored, that's
even if
crazy.
we
That would open up a whole world of stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
even if we can't, this is a great tool. But
yeah.
it would just be an extra incentive for IDA folks as well.
Well, and I would also think you could easily start with a Save to Win account, and at the end of the year, dump the $500 of savings into an IDA.
Yeah, all the IDAs say is you have to save at least $20 a month.
Right.
So if they save $25 a month, you know, just a thought.
So, and you know, and the great thing about Save to Win, after that initial $25 deposit, you know, it can be $12.50 twice a month. It can be $5 every week.
And that's the beauty of it, because there isn't any wiggle room with an IDA.
As I like to say, I mean, life happens, and people. I opened up a similar account, you know, to throw money into. You know, when I've got a few extra $10 this month, I throw it into this similar type of add-on CD. There was one other question I want to hit that was early on, and this kind of goes back to the ambassadors and really the role that I see. And it might have been Brittany who asked, if I remember correctly, but, you know, concerned about clients and trust the financial institutions. And that's really where I think the participating credit unions need your help as organizations. You are the entry point to a lot of these families that, you know, need help or need the right tools or need to connect it to the right products that can help them save. And sure, they may not be, you know, comfortable going into a credit union. So it's, you know, helping to bridge that gap is really where, you know, I'm excited about the interest we're getting off of this call, because, you know, you guys are the trusted individuals in that community. They're coming to you for a service, and if we can help add another tool in the box to help them save and get them more comfortable with a traditional financial service or a local credit union branch, then I think we're taking giant steps forward for everybody. Mm-hmm. Well, I want to be conscious of time. We've got we scheduled this for an hour. I show 11:48 right now. Are there any more questions, comments, or concerns?
And Stacy, you're on the call. Did you want to say anything about the league and your role, or?
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, wonderful. I unmuted my line. I don't have much to add. You guys covered it all very well, but if for some reason you have questions for the Michigan Credit Union League, we do a lot of the project management with the credit unions directly. Please, you can contact myself. And my contact information isn't up there, but you can get it from Ross. He does have it. And I appreciate all the work that all of your organizations are doing, and the fact that you are willing and excited to work with Save to Win. So it's great to have you all on board.
And Stacy, I have a question for you. There was a, I'm reading another question. Somebody in the chat asked about, well, there's not a credit union in my area. This was in particular Oakland County. I just want to throw out there, I know that CEDAM, we have met with some credit unions that are not participating to go, you know, here's a large organization, community action agency serving clients in this area. So I guess the question is the league looking at, you know, continually reaching out to more credit unions across the state?
Yes. We are continually reaching out. We're looking for new credit unions to get involved. So if for some reason you are out in your communities and you talk to a credit union and they're not participating but want to learn more information, they can contact myself at the league, and I can definitely assist them in getting more information, getting set up as a Save to Win participant. We do have, I believe, 4 credit unions that are launching in May, but I do not have the names of those for you. So we are continually adding more credit unions. I'm more than happy to add more credit unions.
And
Thank you.
Yep, and that, you know, the new credit unions might not help for the, you know, our Race to Memorial Day contest, but I see Save to Win. I mean, this is really a long-term partnership, so I'm really excited to hear the excitement we've heard from all of you on the call who have spoken up. So we are happy to help make those linkages and bring credit unions into the fold in your neck of the woods to get Save to Win to your people.
And also, just to confirm to folks, we're going to send out, we've seen a bunch of questions about this. Once we get off the line, we'll be able to send this actual hard copy presentation out to everyone who was on the participation list. But additionally, it's been recorded, so as long as that works right from a technology perspective, you actually should, I think, receive a link automatically from ReadyTalk saying, you know, here's the recording of the event, and that includes the PowerPoint. But if you don't, you know, feel free to contact Ross or Wafa, and we can figure out what happened. And then, Stacy, if you don't mind, when we send out the PowerPoint to everyone, because we'll just hard copy send it out to everyone, we can also put your contact information in there if that's okay with you.
That would be perfect. Then people can get in contact with me if they have any questions for the league. So
or find other credit unions that might want to get on board.
Yep, exactly. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
This is Tanika Ramsey from OSA, and I just have a question. We have in the IDA program, we're a VitaSite, and we also have a couple of different offices. Is there any particular program that the Save to Win has to be connected to, or can we just allow any of our clients in any of our locations to be a part of it?
There are no restrictions. So you don't have to connect it to anything. The only restrictions are, you know, in the rules, client must be 18, must be a member of the credit union. But beyond that, the only restrictions are those that, you know, you place upon yourself to connect people with this.
Thank you.
Well, last shout out for questions. Hearing none, thank you all. This, again, will be posted. We will get this information out, and I think the chair people will stay on for a few seconds after this. So thank you. Have a wonderful day. Look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. Please stand by.